The tap out from Chow, yeah, he's gotten it all the way there. They're going to get the last 2 kills and the defuse. You're going to hand it over to Shao. He's going to get the Hunter's Fury online too.
And this did happen a couple of times. DRX very comfortable, I guess very deep positions on a B site post plant, but a number of times the hold on site just absolutely crumbled versus Loud. It's another example here where they win out in a situation. 2 here, Zest finds one on top of this.
An unexpected one. That was a 4v2.
Wait, did Zest walk into that? I saw Angel got a kill with the molly, but
he may
just
have.
caught it on the end of the replay there.
Yeah. May have. You see the buy for DRX, it's not great. They do invest a Judge and a Bulldog. Nightfall in the hands of Sax. And intentions towards C. Note here, there's no alarm bot too to dissuade the push in, but the orbital strike buys space and buys time.
Tried to actually catch the stun here, but Bar's able to satchel away from that. A deeper investment maybe would have still caught one.
Poison's off.
They're actually swinging wide onto this. Yeah, Zipan a little further behind it.
They can fully push through towards C here, but the thing is, yeah, Sugetsu's setup is still here, and he's gotten ahead of it. Buzz is the only one who's through right now. Zipan still is a flash. The lockdown invested in Buzz with the Judge. Ill-advised shots through it. Yeah, he's going to get peppered through that smoke. Never had a shot as Zipan fills out. Gets another 2. And now the Hunter's Fury. Zest is dead. He's done. Whoa, well, hang on. Fancy footwork as he tangos around the ult. Stays alive and perhaps gives him a shot at this round.
The Snake Bite not actually landing in the corner here. RB drifting further ahead. Now it's just Zest. Try and recover this. Sugetsu will find the headshot to seal the deal. Buzz, yeah, forced to try and deal with the lockdown. Wildly spamming the Judge. Doesn't amount to too much though. DRX in a solid position in terms of ultimates here. One off the lockdown, the Viper's Pit and the Nightfall here, but an early timeout called.
Yeah, we'll see. Perhaps it's off of, trying to figure out what you want to do with the 3 ults that you were just mentioning. But Mike, I will say, it does seem like when it comes to individual form, it's early, but they look really crisp on this map. They seem really snappy. Sugetsu's playing well. And maybe that's kind of what I'm looking for, is we know what CNET's capable of. We saw it on the first 2 maps, but who else is it, right? Who else is going to fill in behind him? And they just look really good right now.
As well, DRX, at least in terms of the early round, I wouldn't call it throwing just yet. In terms of the early round, definitely need to start applying a little more pressure. They're the ones that are on the back foot behind some of these trap plays, and whether or not it's further commitment from Buzz maybe towards an opening engagement. Certainly need to play towards that utility being invested on the side of NAVI and ultimately turn that into an advantage for themselves. Wait and see what the adjustment is on the backside of the timeout.
Meanwhile, I think that's a fair question to ask on the side of NAVI too, because I think every round we've seen so far, they've shown a willingness to scrap early. You think about the pistol, you think about the early A main fight from a couple of rounds ago. They want to brawl.
Be safe.
How do DRX handle that? Meanwhile, look at the setup right now towards mid. Angel and CNET just standing right up at the barrier, looking to take some aggressive space.
Angel to shoulder here for contact, potentially place CNET in.
Bomb buddy out.
Early investment of smokes at least.
Wondered here too what the plan was with that. I thought maybe they had a player that was close to getting an ult online and they were trying to play around and posture for the orb, but
this is slightly awkward with it being the Brimstone. Obviously now you only have 1 smoke towards whatever happens in the late round. You don't have a second controller, you don't have any regeneration, so this is the sort of situation that you're looking for Na'Vi to definitely find value off that utility.
Yeah, I believe it was Bren who was mentioning it on the desk, this exact thing, right? There's not a whole lot left behind that. The positioning, the investment of that final smoke from Angel has to be pixel perfect.
They've got the read here. There's 3 members of Na'Vi over towards A site. So DRX will commit behind it as well.
Buzz. Oh, that Rolling Thunder's going to cause so many problems. And yeah, they're deafened, but what can Mako find? 1. Looking for the second, nothing found yet. but the spike in a position to be scooped up. But do they know Zipan's there? They're just not going to push it. They're going to go to Sugetsu! And Sugetsu with one. Try to bully him away, try to force him to run and create some space. Where on earth are you going?
Sugetsu's going to catch this.
Are you going to commit? Oh, he commits! 13 seconds left. And Sugetsu, concerned about what might be behind him, creates a window for Mako to get the spike down. What a chaotic round, Mike.
The turret will bodyguard RB, though. Put him in a position where he has to actually retreat back towards the door here. Mako completely disconnected down to 69 HP.
Oh, and they don't invest a turret to serve as a sentinel, so to speak, on the spike. They drop it B to make sure there's no one flanking around. So they have to face this. First flash turned. Mako trying to decapitate the first and manages to do so. It's all onto RB now, 1v2, and he gets the 1v1. They left him. It all's onto CNED. He's going to get to half. RB on the swing and CNED with the snap, but I don't know that he's going to have enough time. It's going to be so close. Oh, it's going to be so close, but it's not enough. The Red Bull clutch for DRX.
Again, two people dropping down onto lower there. It takes CNED so much time to wrap back up onto default. Try and get the defuse. DRX flip around in their favor. I mean, just here. Sugetsu so close to catching Mako.
I'd love to see if we can get this from CNED's perspective too. No, we're not going to get it. But, you know, you wonder here, I imagine he didn't have a satchel in that situation for him to have to take the long pathing around. Another situation where a second was all the difference. Up in the hands of CNED here.
Trying to bait out the trap plate outside on Mound. Like you said, though, the operator in hand. CNED is going to tuck himself into a deeper position. One off the showstopper as well. He is rewarded with an early kill. Lockdown and the Viper's Pit available for DRX. An opportunity to clear a site and secure it in a post plant.
And Zest, the tip of the spear. You see how far up he is already. Tucked behind his wall. And a tap of the door. Once again, just a threat. The Prowler through, and Buzz never left the ground.
No investment just yet, but DRX happy to continue forwards.
I mean, Navi have such a good setup, though. You know that they're not going to be pushing in and try to flip B. Because of that, you can invest the fault line, the shock darts. You can send 3 towards A. They can drop so much here.
You should run.
So do we actually see the late lockdown invest here? Stacks Snappy with the first Zipan will fall.
Still so much to do, though. I mean, Navi forced to take a step back for just a moment.
And with that blind kill, actually CNED does get the showstopper up. Nearly actually catches RB with the second there.
He's going in with it. The alarm bot there, and it once again never fires. Zest still able to play in it, though. RB with the first, finally equalizing things. But how much more can they do? Can Navi break their way through what they have? No, they cannot. What a hold. Wow.
I mean, it's so unlucky from CNED. So close to finding the second inside the pit with the operator, and then can't get the showstopper off. Oh, beautiful.
I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Right? We've all been there.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good. But you're right, a brutal situation there for CNED. And the truth is, yeah, he landed the shot onto Stacks. If it's Zest, an entirely different situation. If he's able to launch off with that showstopper and find some value, once again, we're having a different conversation. But DRX, once again, scrappy, managing to handle what they have. Managing to handle what Navi are throwing their way. They did invest everything into that, though, Mike. They invested the pit. They invested the lockdown. That was a costly round. A win, yes, but a costly one nonetheless.
And Buzz on the brink of finding another showstopper. That's about it. Maybe the TP from Mark. I mean, it won him another round. Usually talk that ultimate down, but if you find a round from it, sure.
Yeah.
Navi, other than Zipan on the Guardian, able to get rifles on the board. And nothing available for them. 3 away from the Hunter's Fury, 3 off the lockdown. Got to build back towards that. Another 2 rounds for DRX, though, to take the lead here, nonetheless. 4-3 the scoreline. Can they carry this forwards? I mean, we'll force NAVI into an uncomfortable situation.
Careful here for aggression towards A main. You've got the fault line set up. The haunt is cleared. What is Zipan waiting for? There it is. And there's the swing. Angel looking to dip on the second, drops RB.
We mentioned earlier, that's the sort of value you want to see from a smoke early on from Angel. Now, not necessarily as much of an issue. Buzz able to get right ahead of this Killjoy setup, though. Will clear a lot of space, and this time around, the plant comes through. A 3v4 in the post plant. Not much in the form of utility to secure it, but Buzz actually throws out the paint shell. Paranoia sent as well very early on here, Doug.
Very early, you're absolutely right. The drone has been cleared. Oh, and that's
what was that?
Again, a gifted one, maybe off of a tag from the drone. I believe that was the case. I didn't think the drone made it out of the smoke. Either way, he gets a kill. Buzz playing him close! Buzz!
He's got another nade.
And he has time. Oh, but he doesn't even get it off. Sugetsu with a massive one. Angel with the second. And once again, a subversion of expectations. This time in favor of NAVI.
Heroic attempt from Buzz, but unable to find anything further from those 2 kills.
Oh,
it was, yeah. Too late. Oh. It's curious if we'll see another Stacks reaction there for back-to-back rounds. Some BS deaths from, yeah, we do.
See the clench of the jaw at first. That's how you know, man.
NAVI will tie it up and now actually take the lead in terms of this ult cycle as well.
Yeah.
Force DRX down to it. Well, no purchase. Judge, a sheriff, well, 2.
On my way.
It goes to round things out, but bigger picture-wise, Sugetsu 1 away from the lockdown. Shao 1 off the Hunter's Fury. These big ultimates available now for NAVI. Gerald look to find maybe something into B side, but there's nothing on the other side of this.
No. I'm surprised that they invested the Hunter's Fury, but I mean, it worked. Very well handled. You can see what the intent was for DRX too. A different Viper wall. We hadn't seen that towards B, and then a quick pounce out from Buzz with the Judge. The only weapon that they had in that round. Yeah, they have no shot in this one. Shock darts too. CNET cutting everything off. Wow. It's the 3rd time that counts as a Prime Gaming Flawless comes through for NAVI.
1 round ahead now. Definitely cementing that lead in terms of this ult cycle as well. Lockdown back in effect. It was actually the tag on the Hunter's Fury that gives Sugetsu a turret kill as well. NAVI the home stretch of this first half. I mean, a potential here to close this out. An 8-4 advantage. DRX, not much left behind this purchase, so be a bit of a crossroads if they lose another.
It's a different look here again. They threatened aggression B, but they didn't leave anything behind. So RB's just able to fill back the space.
Placing swarm grenade.
Right here.
They've got the Prowlers that they can push up with as well. RB, it took a little while, but he gets 1 step closer to having that lockdown.
Molly's removed from this C-site setup from Sugetsu. So it's just the alarm bot left there. The DRX taking their sweet time with this default. Spike not committed either direction just yet. It's only Shao to hold down the fort towards 8. We'll clear out with the drone here.
But it's early. They're ahead of it.
Did catch the tag though on Zest.
Go get him.
What do they do with that info?
Problem being they've confirmed on both extremities now with the drone and the boom bot. It's going to force the hand of DRX into a scrambled execute here.
You imagine Sugetsu drops the lockdown here? Yep, and it's flipped. The map is flipped. I mean, DRX just played them like puppets, bro.
TP will come through, giving them the plant.
There they are.
Just masterfully handling Navi's strings. Just when they thought they had a read on the situation, the rug's pulled out from under them. But Zipan able to get one onto Stacks. Buzz with everything to do. This position surely not expected, surely not found yet. He can do it all by himself. RB's going to be scaling forward as well, and Alarmbot deep to cut off any control. But Buzz falls. I mean, they've got him pinched in. Mike, this is discombobulated. This is messy. He's got to get the kill on an Angel. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's gone sideways. It goes so horribly sideways. RB's now just sitting on the other side with no way to make a play. Has to sit back and watch as the round goes by.
And DRX play this so well, but Na'Vi able to maintain numbers in that retake. One falling so early towards rubble. And Na'Vi capitalize. And that's the kill I'm talking about right there. Stacks in a very deep position to cut off this rotation. Buzz falling after that as well.
I mean, Buzz had a great position, and you know, we've got to talk about RB again. Not able to get the kill on Angel.
He's not had the same sort of impact today whatsoever.
Not at all. Absolutely agree. But somehow, even in the face of that, they find themselves in a fight. Just down 2 rounds in the first half of Lotus. Or picked up.
Rolling Thunder here from Zipan. And yeah, on the X-ray, you can see just what's on the other side.
Oh, this looks like trouble. What's the follow-up, though? Is there anything behind it? Is it just them? The paranoia and the satchel are beautiful. What a disengage. Oh, but you're not going to be able to get out of that. Oh, my gosh.
Orbital Strike splits them, but nobody secures the space in front of it on the side of Na'Vi. But DRX feeling probably pretty good about that one.
Absolutely. That could have been disaster. The thing is, Na'Vi have rotated so many this way.
Well,
you gotta watch that
it's a
die.
pretty depressing lockdown.
Yeah, that's unlucky. And info off of the dart.
Angel's playing in the cut as well. He's able to control this space outside. B Stacks picked off once again. No response found either. DRX shepherd in towards this C site right now.
You're running out of time here. If you're going to flip the map, it's got to be now, and the utility hasn't been cleared. They've done such a good job of doing it, but they don't seem to care. Managed to get a couple. You've got Zess, who's cutting off rotations towards B, but the spike has to go down very soon. And you still have so much presence here from Na'Vi.
Angel's found that kill.
This should open things up. That shock dart, oh, it didn't bounce. It was a little bit deeper. RB's getting one. A 2v2 somehow. Mako, 85 HP, no armor. The swing out is there, and they try to bully Shao, and they do. They've left Zipan in this. And he cannot convert.
How the hell have DRX just flipped that? That is absolute madness. Even with Angel finding the kill onto Zest there, the numbers advantage still for Na'Vi.
I mean, just a pocket. You know, we were talking about RB, and reasonably so, rightfully so. You mentioned it, he hasn't played the same way he did yesterday. 2 massive kills in that round.
Another 3K for him. Was his signature move yesterday.
I'm confused, he's smiling, but they lost that round. CNED with the op, showstopper in play. Early A aggression too.
So yeah, throwing everything behind this now.
There they are. Set up CNED. What?
That's a big pick. So they try and explode on the back of this. Yes, they do. The showstopper doesn't land, but Stacks will find the kill on Shao.
So well handled. The swing out. I mean, DRX have played this perfectly. The problem is, though, Mike, we've said this before, and Na'Vi somehow find a way to Houdini their way into the round.
A 2v5, Doug?
Have we seen
surely not.
Zipan ahead of things, ahead of the nightfall, ahead of the first. Clothesline, though, not able to find much more, as DRX and Na'Vi are tied at 6 apiece at half. And well, honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
The road to recovery pays off. As I said, we were staring down the barrel of potentially 1 buy round away from an 8-4 half here in favor of Na'Vi. DRX, a course correction nonetheless. And RB must have heard me now because he's topping the board for DRX. Both Killjoys sit at 12 and 6.
Yeah, he heard what you said. He took it personally. And he's gotten DRX to this point. Halftime here between Navi and DRX. We'll throw it down to the desk.
Thank you very much, guys. This game, just the gift that keeps on giving. Every time we think that something is going to happen, it feels like, Brent, what we expect does not happen.
No, I know. We were trying to plan segments around the bonus round showstopper that didn't come to fruition. It just got immediately shut down as well. But yeah, I mean, it's been just one off of clutches. It's been even 6-6. But in terms of which direction it goes on, I really couldn't predict it, I don't think.
I think one of the things that DRX keep doing is putting themselves in difficult spots and then having to frag or clutch their way out of it.
Yeah.
And that happened multiple times. Round 6 and round 7 really stand out, though, because they had put themselves into, it feels like almost unwinnable positions, and then you have a big play coming out from someone. I mean, from Marco, for example, in this situation, teleporting over to the C site and then barely winning the round due to time towards the end of things, as CNED almost got this but didn't quite have what it took. Yeah. And then the round straight afterwards, I think they're in a 3v5 here or a 3v4.
Yeah, Maka goes down towards his util.
Yeah, and then they use pit lockdown to get their way out.
Yeah, I mean, really good timing with the ultimates, I will say, but it has just come down to these clutch performances. I mean, and a lower third kind of spells it out as well. DRX have never got never got a win on Lotus, excuse me. And this is paving the way to a potential chance to get their first win of all time. But it is still shaky, right? It's still shaky. And I do worry a little bit about the composition they're playing up against, because now we're looking at Navi's attack side. With this composition they're playing, double initiator, solo smokes, it's very all-in. I feel like if DRX opt into playing retakes, their retakes were 0-7 on the last map. Won't be looking too hot, potentially.
Well, it's neck and neck at the half, but there can only be one winner from this series, and of course, gaining that first spot at playoffs. Doug and Hypok, I cannot wait to find out who it's going to be.
Well, good news, Yinsu, you won't have to. We're just a few moments away from kicking off the second half. Now Navi on the attacking side, just CNED on the duelist. We'll see what they can find. You know, the devs talked about it, Mike, early on. It seemed like we were set up for all these electric rounds towards A main, and we didn't see much of that. See if that's the case here.
Which was strange, because I want to come back to something Josh mentioned, which is, you know, a number of times DRX being forced into, you know, clutch situations to close out rounds, but their recovery factor yesterday was, I mean, nothing short of amazing.
Yeah.
In terms of losing out first bloods and still converting 4v5s or trading them back.
I mean, the win rate in those situations was just stupid. And if it wasn't broke, well, why fix it? But that just hasn't been the exact same this time around. Much more of a dogfight.
Very cautious, tentative approach here from Navi and the pistol. Another 20 seconds on the recon, but the spike slowly making its way across towards C. Marco and RB will have their hands full here with all 5 members of Navi.
Which is interesting here, too. You expect Killjoy's utility to be set up here, and you don't have the same tools to clear that out on C in a pistol round. Meanwhile, there's so much space that DRX are taking towards A. They've just smoked off the turret, but they're going to commit to the C site. Both nanoswarms have been used, and they're not going to be able to get through.
20 seconds. And they're past the turret. They're behind this already. Sugetsu seems aware of it, though.
It was smoked off at first. You see the first few share of shots go wide. The spike finally seems like it's going to go down, but DRX
it doesn't go
pushing
down.
Right back.
Last player standing.
He's not going to have time. He's well out of reach. Wow. A few things at play here. Again, the Killjoy setup made it to where they could not make it through, and then there was so much aggression from DRX towards A. They smoke off the turret, they take the space. Navi had no options, Mike.
I mean, Sugetsu was still aware of that. The fact that he's even still checking. RB finds one with a ping on the map. Yeah, I mean, the spike dropping down underneath. I'm not sure if it was initially dropped there, but Navi almost sitting watching that round pass them by. The clock ultimately decided that. All of the kills come through for DRX in the end, yes, but CNED pinged up, revealed, forced back, and actually the C's invested behind it. Angel getting a little curious here.
Yeah, back to the scene of crime, are we? First one cleared. Turret still up, nothing but a warning shot. I like this too. They leave CNED here loud on the rotate out, but they leave a trap. The question is, does the trap get challenged? Oh, it's not a trap anymore. He's made his presence very clear. This is actually, I really like this from Navi just because of the presence that they've shown. One alarm bot has been cleared. A Molly has been used by Zest. He has none of that left. So you're seeing them slowly draw some of that utility out.
Buzz at least gets information on this jump peak early enough that Stax should be able to beat the rest of Navi towards A site. Oh, we'll reconfirm, at least on the second jump peak. That's going to be a big paranoia to slow things down as well.
Yeah, but what's ahead of it? Buzz on the swing. Stax there popping through the smokes. Well done by DRX. Xiao's by himself and somehow manages to sidestep the satchel. It never goes off. Gets a kill, upgrades a weapon to 1v3. Oh, it landed on him.
10 seconds left.
The plant, the secondary objective at least. Xiao, 50 HP, Bulldog in hand. Can he find anything else? No, Zest will seal the deal. 3 left standing, 3 rifles maintained, Doug.
RB is the only one who took armor damage there too. Who also, importantly, was the one who got the defuse, who's just now 4 points away, halfway to having his lockdown online on defense.
Buzz and Stax with great progress as well. Stax, again, the only one to bring a pistol into this round. Wants to find a couple of kills. Navi playing it slow in the second also. See if that trend does continue into the buy rounds as well. And one thing, I mean, for DRX to stay particular Stax's utility was absolutely flawless on the fade. See if DRX have any other trap plays set up. Heavy presence outside B here. Stax revealing that there's a Guardian here.
But concealing that there's more than one as far as personnel goes.
We're setting up for the paranoia here, actually.
I mean, surely you don't invest Matt without real confirmation of what's on the other side, right?
Got the spike.
They're considering it. They're already ahead of the smoke and the Prowler, confirming there's no one there. So DRX on the move. Zest feeling some of the pressure, having to take a step back, try to bide some time. Stay alive for the rest of them to show up. I mean, Cena's already through and Angel's already gotten a kill. Oh, but he doesn't find anything. They've somehow managed to keep them back at least for a little bit. They're going to bonus them, Mike. Stax and RB are up. Never mind, I jinxed him. It's RB by himself.
So gets you down to 15 HP. This is definitely doable for RB.
Do they know where he is?
Asking for another clutch from the hero of DRX once again. Xiao posted up, but he's found the first.
One.
Oh, I don't know if Sugetsu was going to swing onto that there.
I wasn't sure either.
The last second will find the headshot, but 4 rifles removed for Navi. DRX probably feeling pretty good about themselves there in terms of a round 3 performance. Stax nearly getting it done with the Guardian initially here.
Yeah.
Last player standing.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Sugetsu's so wise to it. Yeah.
That looked like maybe a tech pause.
Yeah.
Stax has ripped something out.
All good. Plugged it back in.
Clock's not moving.
No. Right, it's not, is it?
Now it is.
Here we go.
Okay. I get a little worried.
Crisis averted.
But nonetheless, Navi with the plant on the back of it, able to get rifles across the board. Hunter's Fury available, 1 off the lockdown, 1 off the orbital strike as well. So some key ultimates available potentially in this round for Navi. Lockdown going to be the first objective.
What do they do with it? They're just going to funnel out onto C, and they're going to do so quickly. Buzz dropping a nade. I mean, but the dart, he's lit up. That Nightfall's going to help, though. They're going to funnel behind it. They flood out onto the site. Just when you thought Navi had control, DRX punch back.
That's crazy that Navi don't get a single kill in that exchange as well.
Nothing.
Buzz nearly caught with the shock dart. 20 HP. But still standing. And in firm control of this spike now. Navi just going to sit behind their smoke, hope for somebody to overpeak.
They're going to have to do it 2 or 3 times just to get on equal footing. I mean, Stax just went from almost tech pausing the series to potentially winning the round with that Nightfall. What a legend. I'm sure we'll get another look at it here at the end of the round, but that Nightfall and the pounce behind it from DRX was just so decisive.
Even there initially, Navi feeling as if this was going to be the lighter side of the DRX defense. Happy to just almost brute force their way onto site.
10
Or at least
seconds
try.
left.
But no recovery comes through. It'll be the 9th for DRX. Is CNEG going to be able to purchase something behind this? Is Zipan only going to carry a Guardian across? Throws the finances off kilter here for Navi, Doug.
Oh, I mean, that helps
well, that's
too.
how that happened, yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Buzz's drive-by was nice, but he lined 2 up there in the choke point.
17-8 still. You know, we talked about RB at halftime and how he was starting to come back to life. He was starting to get it back together. Still top fragging. Yeah, I really like this timing from Navi, though, because you think about how the previous round ended. There was an extended period of time to talk through what was going on, talk through adjustments, and then the coach calling timeout on the other side of this, too. In some ways, mind you, the coach wasn't there at the end of the previous round, but it's an extended time to chat through what's gone on.
And certainly here as well, this timeout comes when Navi are sitting on some key ultimates that we already mentioned.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Potentially considering how they want to build around those, but like I said, they're already in a tricky situation because the finances are thrown off balance. We just need to sit and play out another round, potentially concede double digits to DRX.
Yeah. Certainly
That
not
margin
where
for
you want
error becomes smaller and smaller, Doug.
So we'll see again what they choose to do with the finances, or in some instances, you know, the lack thereof. Is that a ball? Was that a ball or was that a balloon?
I didn't catch it.
Oh. That was a balloon. Thank
Balloon,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. What do they do with this? A Bulldog, a Guardian, and a Vandal. So some bite, but still plenty left over for the next round. Meanwhile, an aggressive, decisive push from DRX once again.
We saw a number of variations of this as well. Previously on Lotus from DRX, very quickly collapsing back towards C site here, leaving Marco posted up. And Navi actually gathered outside B. There could be a problem because RB's lockdown could be huge in terms of a B site retake here, Doug.
Buzz with no satchels. I thought he might go if there was something with the Prowler, something with the C's. No investment yet.
Look at RB's adjustment on the utility as well. It's actually towards backside and towards stairs.
With how good of a job of Navi have done of clearing some of that early on, of just peeking out, clearing one of the nanos.
Not necessarily going to be a factor here. This Navi group outside A now. 40 seconds left on the clock. Xiao down to 25 HP. Marco will spot on the second here. Early enough as well. Potentially dig his heels in here.
Marco's so far ahead. That flash was just too much for him to deal with. He's going for this. Oh my gosh, he still got the kill onto CNED. What?
Somehow will equalize the head count. The lockdown will clear sight. Navi will be able to get a comfortable plant.
Whoa,
Orbital
that's
strike as well. Angel going to follow up on this.
I love that too, so deep. Set the line of scrimmage further back. Force them to invest utility to take space that they should normally have. This puts DRX in a brutal spot.
The problem being as well, look how disconnected Xiao. He's actually going to invest the Hunter's Fury here to deal with the lockdown instead. And actually it's going to pave the way, open things up for Stacks.
I mean, DRX are still rolling behind it. Stacks gets a second, Xiao gets to the only two that remain. And Xiao, as you mentioned, so disconnected, so far back, 25 HP, nothing but a classic. So gets with everything to do and nothing found. All on to Xiao now. Tries to swing one with the classic. The second maybe connects, but it's not gonna matter. DRX with a 3-round lead.
And a dilemma for Xiao with the Hunter's Fury, but it's Navi just not feeling comfortable about the weaponry maybe, or the HP bars. I feel as if they can disconnect, get back outside of tree, and wait out the lockdown. Again, it's very awkward to have to fight back into tree if you concede that space in that situation.
I think on the other side too, DRX so confident to take the fight right? Once the lockdown goes down, they're just going to flood behind it, regardless of what's on the other side.
Could see a clash here, actually.
We haven't had many of these. The Haunt is the distraction for Buzz to get the kill onto CNET, and he gets a second. The spike is down, but there's not enough to follow up, I don't think. Did they seize that? Yeah, Xiao is stuck.
What is that adjustment from Xiao? Finds the Prowler and the headshot onto Buzz. Brings it back to a 3v2 in favor of Na'Vi. This is one of the rounds where actually there isn't a paint shell or a snake bite invested towards the typical positions here. And Na'Vi capitalize. Zest noted here. RB elsewhere, just positioned outside B, not necessarily in a position to support Zest.
Oh, just hanging out and watching, waiting.
I mean, it could be. He's ahead of the alarm bot, so if Na'Vi do actually execute onto B, there's a chance for him to backstab.
That might be the case.
He's getting played in here, Doug.
Interesting, too. That wall goes up from Zest. RB.
He drops the wall for him.
Well done.
Spike down, B.
Very well done, but more to be done. More to be found.
30 seconds left.
Zest is left alone, a 1v2 against all odds as the spike runs further away.
Deploying drone.
Wisely, too, from Navi, not having to deal with any of the wall or any other utility that's be there. Just remove that element entirely.
Spike
Zest
planted.
tagged. A high-low, way too much to deal with here, surely. But they've given him 1v1s. They're repositioning. Zest has a shot at this. It's small, and it is not enough. Navi get to 8.
Beautifully timed to play RB in. That only amounts to 1 kill. Gets traded out. Unfortunately, can't disengage from that position. See, Buzz does actually spot CNET on the cross. And initially, everything goes right for DRX. I mean, it's a 2-for-1, but that adjustment is beautiful from Xiao. And then maybe a little overzealous to secure that round, find further kills from DRX. Unfortunately, gives Na'Vi a play back in.
Yeah. And I feel like that's been the story of the entire series, Mike, is pull back and forth just when it seems like the team has control. That's just not the case. And 8 is good, though, to deal a little bit of damage.
Placing alarm bot.
Not much. Spike currently not in hand. Sugetsu getting the orb mid. I mean, Sugetsu's still pretty far off of his lockdown here.
Zipan 1 away from the Rolling Thunder. CNET 2 off the showstopper. Maybe just wanted to deny that orb, nonetheless.
Mako by himself here. Tucks behind the wall. Yes, some cover there. I mean, do you pounce off of this?
Marco at least will be within earshot. Stack's considering joining him, but Na'Vi don't actually follow through.
Also note here, look at the position of Sugetsu's alarm bot. Different from where it was in the previous round, where remember RB had managed to find a space to slip through.
Playing to cut off any option through door from DRX. RB will be called upon
30
once
seconds
again.
left.
Utility there to help and utility there to cover. He goes from up top and RB's able to swing around, drop him. Zipan though, there for the trade. He answered the call for 1. Sugetsu there. Oh, you could tell Buzz was suspecting where the play was coming. 13 seconds left. Spike planted. Zipan has the Rolling Thunder, and there it is. It's going to push a couple of members back, but it seems like DRX may have found a swap right through it. The Haunt finding info, finding value. It's Buzz getting 1. Xiao with the shock darts. It's just a tap out onto Spike, a 2v2 now. Sugetsu's still there. They've got him corralled in. DRX surrounded. They've already gotten it to half. It's got to be a swing from Xiao, and it delivers. Navi get another.
Definitely doesn't feel comfortable, but
No.
Navi able to convert another. Now the finances at DRX come into question. And RB not spotted initially. Unfortunately, feels as if he can't retreat away from that position. Navi bring it within 1 round now. Will force a timeout from DRX.
For dramatic effect, no less.
Yeah.
1 round separating these two. And what a series it's been.
Actually on the brink of I mean, both teams being fairly close to everything but the Rolling Thunder that's invested from Zipan. So DRX going to potentially play one out here with a light buy or maybe even a couple of rifles invested. Have to wait and see exactly how they settle. But for them, 2 away from the pit, 2 off the Nightfall for Stacks. Showstopper in hand. And Navi also very, very comfortable in terms of ultimates as well.
Back into the action we go. Buzz has really come to life here. 22 and 15 currently. You mentioned some of the ults that are up and available in play. I mean, they've invested a bit here, Mike. 2 Bulldogs, no armor on Zest. Or excuse me, on Mako. It's messy. It's choppy.
Navi looking to throw a curveball potentially here towards a B-side execute.
I haven't seen much of that.
No. They do follow through.
I mean, they've gotten so much space for free. I guess why not? Are they going to try to flood again off the Paranoia? Yeah, that seems to be the case. They have the Haunt there, too, to provide some cover to get some info. Shao able to get the snap, but it looks like they're going to get eco unless Zipan and Sugetsu can do something about it. Weapons upgraded for the defense. And there's really nothing that they can do. They're going to have to flood behind the flash. Stacks has already gotten it, but Mako with the 3K to get DRX 11. Heroic scenes from the controller yet again.
He's laughing about it. Talked about earlier, DRX looking lethal in the Thrifties. Looking even more ferocious in some of the rounds where they're at a great disadvantage. This one, every crucial kill comes through for DRX. Zipan and Sugetsu on the wrong side of B site for them to be the last 2 standing.
You can't help but call into question the option to go B here. Such a chaotic site. And just not well navigated. DRX with the 2-round lead, 3 ultimates, and the other 2 are just the pip away, Mike.
I was going to say, we weren't far off one of those rounds where nearly everything is available. So gets him one off the lockdown on the other side. Zipan, obviously nowhere near the Rolling Thunder, but tag off the drone. Zest will get tagged on the first Hunter's Fury, able to escape the others though. Does he throw the pit down here to secure? He does.
Wow.
Once hits the panic button, so Navi drawing out an ultimate very early on.
Bring them down.
But potentially removing A in terms of an option here. Gonna hit B side once again.
And it's gonna be empty. Unless CNET scales up, that showstopper, yeah, it's gonna get some space and it's gonna buy some time, but it's not gonna get much else. Now you can't help but bring back to memory what we just saw in the previous round, this time with the Paranoia, this time with the ult, and this time the kill. But Navi keeping things at bay for now. Mako should have a chance to rotate through, create some space, and cause some problems. Zest is also there, but you see CNET ready for it. He's waiting. Zest is so weak, not able to get anything with it. 4v2 and yeah.
Neither team willing to relent at all. Navi will find double digits here. I mean, Zipan should be able to find an upgrade somewhere. You look at what's left. I mean, Stacks and Marco are very healthy in terms of the finances. We'll be able to share the wealth. But a big investment. I think RB, by falling, will get the lockdown here. Obviously, Hunter's Fury invested and Orbital Strike invested here, so only really CNET and Zipan in a position to deal with that lockdown potentially. We do see it invested.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Buzz just a little slow to react to Shao running up on him, trying to charge down the showstopper. But beyond that, Navi finding all the kills they needed to secure B site and find the plant nonetheless.
Oh, 22nd round on the books. Stacks again, 1 point away from the Nightfall. Lockdown, Mako's ult. Sugetsu has his 2. You saw Shao lining up for this in the previous round. Ultimately opted to go for the drone. Got that tag on his S that drew out the Hunter's Fury. This time a bit more patient.
Their spotter will retreat. Back towards tree. In a position to slow things down. Stacks already. Here to provide some support.
Oh, Zest.
Dancing with death here. But nobody from Na'Vi actually progressing through the wall.
Or picked up from Zipan there, now 3 points away from the Rolling Thunder. Panel's been broken, and Mako has to be aware of it now, has to respect the possibility of what's on the other side. No swing on the C's. Mako patient, gets the first, looking to control the spam on the second, not able to connect, but Zest, what?
30 seconds left.
Through the box, lands it on his Zipan. And now lockdown drop a second
trade-off
one.
lockdowns.
Yeah, Venn diagramming the site,
Down B.
leaving a 2v2. Stacks with the Nightfall to confirm where they're going. The silence death.
They've read it well.
Yeah. I mean, they're ahead of it. Yeah, the alarm bot is there, but Stacks is going to get a chance to make the play. He's gotten it down to 1. He's going to have to get the spike down very quickly, and that's going to force RB to go quickly. It forces him to go fast, but no. Plant giving up. RB on the swing. He's there, and he lands a shot. DRX at series point. The patience pays off.
What a crazy round. Absolute madness. DRX still get ahead of it. And it's RB to secure. Stacks just caught off guard. Na'Vi still healthy in terms of the purchase. DRX also, but all of those ultimates now have dwindled. Can Na'Vi hold on? Force another overtime.
I mean, ults are kind of close, but not really going to be the case. And look at the aggression from DRX. They invested the paranoia, the haunt, the double satchel, the nade. They dumped so much to control A main.
Na'Vi rolling the dice again on another B site hit, potentially. They're stacked up here.
It's interesting here because Buzz is going to be the one left A. It's normally Mako.
RB will catch the info outside the door.
And they've gone back to where the nanos were previously. The satchel just cleared of both. They're gonna NB. The alarm bot's gonna give it away. Forcing Stacks back. Alarm bot actually just repositioned back out onto the site. It moved at first, didn't go off. Now they're... Zipan is the Rolling Thunder, Mike. It's gonna be so chaotic as you see them both vying for control of such a small space. But Navi equalizing, it's a 3v1 and it's not gonna convert. Sugetsu gets 3, Navi at 11. And Zipan keeps the ult.
And that's massive for Navi. It's gonna force DRX into a really uncomfortable position as well. We'll have to see how the finances settle for them. But Sugetsu on the cleanup with these headshots. He's always good for a round like this, Doug. And it comes when Navi needs it most. 1 round away from forcing another overtime in this best of 3. Stacks brings a Sheriff in here. A Guardian in the hands of Zest.
Oh, it's
and
the same.
Sid opens up.
It's the same play! But CNED surely has taken us the distance. I mean, with an opener like that, and the Rolling Thunder to secure things, Mako stunned up, stunned around, tries to reposition, and does so into his death. A foregone conclusion here as it seems like once again,
Player standing.
we're getting some extra Valorant, folks.
Here.
RB would have to 1v5 to pull this off and get the defuse. We talk about miracles. This would be certainly that. A prime gaming flawless off of the opener from CNED, excuse me, to take us to overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
It's gonna be so taxing on the mental as well for DRX to let this one slip. An explosive opener from CNED. Couple of freebies offered up.
Oh, if I may too, I think you make a really good point on DRX feeling exhausted because you let that one slip. You just had overtime map 1. You played overtime yesterday. I mean, it's early in the tournament, Mike, and these rounds pile on.
Yeah, the mental fortitude being tested. You know, a lot on the line here. We talked about that break ahead of this, booking your ticket further into Champions. Come back to the same thing. Neither team willing to relent. Yeah, NAVI back on the defense here for first round of overtime. Deeper investment of Sugetsu's utility here. Towards elbow. He does have Angel in support as well. See Zipan toying with the idea of actually stunning or flashing out there for someone, but he'll give up the orb. No, I was going to say, actually, for a moment I thought Angel was going to creep out, but now retreating back through Waterfall.
Buzz is 2 points away from a showstopper, given how he's played the opening into this round, given how DRX has played the opening into the round. So keep a third eye on that, if you will. It seems like they want to NC. Everyone's piled up, and that's not just DRX I'm talking about. 3 members from NAVI here. The fault line from Zipan still in play. The Aftershock 2. Off of the smokes, they try to get through, and all of that utility is just going to be so much to deal with. Buzz killed himself! Falls to his own nade, but Zest makes it okay! Keeps him in it! And Zest gets 3! He's got the pit!
He hasn't thrown it down just yet. RB will find Sinez just Xiao to recover a 1v4. DRX players clinging to life. Look at the HP bars. But Xiao will need nothing short of a miracle to flip this back.
Position given away. I mean, and just such an impossible situation. Fully decayed, and time is of the essence. Not much he can do here. DRX are going to take a lead in overtime, and holy smoke, Zest, man.
What a round from Zest. Show me that one back. Because the utility placement is perfect from NAVI. Buzz falls to his own nade. The tip of the spear for DRX. He's trying to get out of the nano swarms.
What a shot onto the second, man. The third was clean too, and then the fourth to wrap up the round. All the conversations around who should be playing for DRX. Zest, Foxy9, the decision that was made at the beginning of the tournament. Man, Zest has had some massive moments just in the first 2 days. Perhaps none bigger than that one. Navi backs against the ropes.
They're going to stun back out of this on the back of the dart.
Nothing to clear it either.
Mako.
I mean, Mako's in so much trouble, but Buzz! He's got the ult! I mean, they've wiped the floor with Navi! Final nail in the coffin! Putting him away! Buzz with 3! DRX are playoffs bound!
In the blink of an eye, Doug. The match is over.
Oh, and look at the faces of the DRX players, man.
You talk about that being a mentally taxing series. What a sigh of relief. And NAVI were poised to completely rip that setup apart. Marco stunned up, revealed. Buzz bailing him out there. And then Marco finds 2.
And the kicker is, I mean, we're going to take a look at it one more time. Buzz just faced the wall. He just faced through the Viper wall. There was no flash. There was no info gathered any other way. Buzz just said, I'm closing this round out myself. Unreal. To end in flawless fashion after the series we've been gifted. DRX, a well-deserved break after taking down NAVI 2-1. And now for NAVI, we've got to mention what's before them. The winner of either Liquid or Loud with tournament life on the line.
Will buy themselves a little break as well. We already talked about DRX showing a lot of improvements in the downtime. Showing some composition changes here as well, uncharacteristic of them to stray away.
Yep.
Pull things like the Yoru out as a curveball.
Yep. The confidence that they showed, again, when you talk about how scrappy they like to play, perhaps uncharacteristic there as well, but...
No, but they've looked good at doing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
Buzz
look
and
really
Navi
good.
being the protagonists of those sort of rounds and really delivering for DRX. Marco doing Marco things as usual. Yeah, great first two series in terms of the overall showing here for DRX. He was talking about this before the series versus Loud. Really an opportunity for, I mean, both of them in that series, but DRX more so to show a return to greatness, right? They were historically a deep-run team. It was always the expectation from DRX. So certainly getting off on the right foot here.
That foot takes them to a warm welcome from their fans. Coming out in droves here in LA. Perhaps that's what got them through, man. I don't know, but DRX have once again shown us that there's something else in them this tournament, man. It's early, but they've shown us so much.
As well, even with RB having a slower start, it wasn't really to harp on him having a worse performance, but it was undeniable the amount of impact that he had yesterday. Stepping up to the plate here on Lotus in a number of rounds. Buzz obviously dominating the first blood game this time around. Talk about them struggling to convert first bloods, but able to recover nonetheless in 4v5 situations, potentially even 3v5 situations a number of times versus Loud.
I'm convinced he made contact with the desk with this warhead.
Oh yeah.
That was very, yeah.
It was beyond a 45-degree angle for sure. Navi, not necessarily out of this, they will potentially go down to face a rematch if Liquid able to topple Loud. Again, we talked about this earlier, pick your poison.
Yeah.
In terms of how that matchup's going to look.
Yep. CNED was outrageous. Xiao and Sugetsu were as well. Angel had his Angel moments. Some very good and some they were very, very questionable. Navi don't look lost. They put up one hell of a fight, but DRX were just too much, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily disappointed with Navi. It's one of those things that I guess has plagued them throughout the regular season. I'm excited to see them bounce back from this.
Yeah. Fortunately, folks, for you at home, for the DRX fans, we've got something special for you. GB standing by with RB for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, fellas. I'm here with RB. Give it up for DRX. Wow. What a game that was. Firstly, congratulations. Hard-fought victory. You know, Navi's a great team. Did that series and the way that it went, the overtimes, or did that catch you off guard potentially?
일단 승리 축하드리고요. 오늘 상당히 나비와 팽팽한 경기를 치렀는데 또 나비가 워낙 잘하는 팀이기도 하잖아요. 오늘 전반적으로 좀 나비가 DRX를 놀라게 했거나 예상치 못했던 부분을 보여줬던 게 있을까요?
확실히 나비는 잘하는 팀이라고 알고는 있어서 일단은 인지는 하고 있었는데 역시 나비다 보니까 일단 총을 굉장히 잘 쓰더라고요, 나비가. 그래서 저희 그런 압박감을 좀 많이 받았었던 것 같고 그런데도 저희가 후반에 그 압박감을 많이 풀어서 이겼던 것 같아요.
Well, yeah, obviously I knew that Navi is a really good team. They're always so strong, but well, today the way they just, shot heads, I just felt like, they're really good aimers as well, but that kind of gave us extra pressure, but afterwards, like during the second half, I just felt like, we were able to shake the nerves off, and I guess thus we pick up the win today.
Awesome, awesome. Now, obviously, there have been some comments made by Angel. He actually said that he felt like DRX got lucky the last time that you guys played on this stage, but then Stack said just yesterday right here that the track record speaks for itself. Do you feel like you got lucky today, or do you feel like you pretty much deserve this win?
일단 엔젤 선수가 지난번에 DRX가 나비를 이겼을 때는 그냥 이게 DRX가 운이 좋았다라고 얘기를 했는데 어제 스택스 선수는 또 상대 전적이 좀 누가 더 잘하는 팀인지를 보여주지 않냐라고 얘기를 했거든요. 오늘 나비를 이기면서 4대1이 됐는데 좀 오늘은 운이 좋아서 이긴 건지 아니면 또 역시나 4대1이라는 전적이 누가 더 잘하는지를 보여주는 것 같은지 얘기해 주시죠.
제가 봤을 때는 엔젤이 그냥 일부러 거짓말을 친 것 같고 일단은 그냥 저희가 무조건 이길 줄 알았어요.
I don't think Angel ever believed in like what he said about us being lucky. I just knew we were gonna win today.
This guy, what a guy, what a guy. But you know, one thing that we have been praising you for is your versatility. You play so many agents, you contribute so much to this team. Is that something you pride yourself in, your ability to be able to play anyone whenever the team needs it?
일단 알비 선수 하면 팀을 위해서 다양한 역할군이나 요원들을 잘 소화하는 걸로도 유명하고 워낙 팀이 필요할 때마다 플렉스 선수로서의 역할을 다 해주고 있잖아요. 좀 그런 부분이 알비 선수 스스로도 좀 자랑스러운 부분인지 궁금합니다.
원래는 이제 수많은 요원을 하는 것 자체가 힘들기도 하지만 그래도 결과적으로 좋은 모습으로 다 보여주면 진짜 정말 자랑스럽겠다고 생각을 해서 저는 만족합니다.
Well, yeah, it's always so hard picking up different agents and having to play different roles, but as long as I perform and prove myself and help the team, I just feel like, yeah, all the hard work, it was just so worth it.
Forever the professional, forever a team player. Congratulations, RB. Well deserved, man. Give it up one more time, and we'll go ahead and send it back.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy, Jen, and RB as well. I'm back here with Sideshow and Brent. Another overtime. I feel like that match was not going to end, and a very, very hard-earned win from DRX.
Yeah, I mean, you hear there from DRX themselves that, just knew that we were going to win today. Overtime win after overtime win. Could have very easily gone in a different direction, but it is DRX, our first team to make playoffs, and they escape a group that I don't think anyone knew exactly who the first team to escape was going to be.
Yeah, it was very much up in the air, wasn't it? But they've earned themselves that nice little break. I believe it's like, what, 8 days from now where they get to. Essentially, I mean, they're not really going to get much of a break. They're probably going to be practicing a lot up until that point. But I feel like for any team, that is such valuable time where you can just sit, watch the competition, see what other people are playing, and also improve on your own stuff as well. I mean, DRX hopefully should be going to even greater heights now.
I mean, especially for a team like DRX, those 8 days, we know they're going to be used pretty wisely. Also, towards the end of that overtime, what a poetic way for it to end, for Buzz to just step up, get a lot of kills to close it out for them. I think the Buzz versus CNED head-to-head has been very, very interesting today because CNED has just been an unstoppable force, it feels like, for Navi.
He looked incredible in the first half of map 1 and then all across map 2, and he just wasn't able to bring that same level into map 3. Buzz, on the other hand, last time we saw him play Lotus, I think he had something like 10 first deaths, and this time he's just slaughtering. Looked vastly improved in terms of how they were taking those opening fights.